According to people familiar with the matter, 50 Cent is willing to reveal well-known names associated with Diddy's purported trafficking network and isn't backing down. Given the two parties' history and rivalry, it wouldn't be shocking at all that 50 is not only cooperating behind the scenes but may also be willing to testify if necessary. What began as online teasing is now evolving into actual legal action, as 50 possesses documents that connect prominent personalities from the music, film, fashion, and sports industries to Diddy's circle. As you are already aware, Diddy is facing serious charges in New York, including trafficking and racketeering his empire, from Bad Boy Records to Revolt Chirac, and those now that the notorious Ace White parties are under intense scrutiny. Pressure is mounting on anyone else who might have participated or heard about them, as court documents may reveal wire transfers. Even though Diddy has pleaded not guilty, the investigation is growing industry ties, and emails and contracts showing how money and influence moved around Diddy's network may now be viewed differently by those who, including Beyonce, Jay-Z, Usher, Mary J. Blige, and others. Mentorships and favors are now possible proof. 50's legal actions might put many well-known people in the public eye. And if he is called to testify, it could completely blow the case apart. We're talking wire. Changes the same parties where celebrities like Jay-Z, Beyonce, Usher, Ashton Kutcher, and Mary J. Blige used to pop bottles could now be turned into exhibits due to NSA leaks. And when that kind of legal heat hits, no amount of fame will be enough to avoid the fallout. As of right now, 50 Cent hasn't been officially listed as a cooperating witness or confirmed to testify. But it is confirmed that he is producing a documentary series and that he is still attacking Diddy on social media. Let's face it though, 50 is no longer just trolling for likes. He is strategic and calculated, and his recent actions indicate that something is brewing.
I feel like all these years you've been the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
So he hasn't been named as a witness in court documents yet. Don't be surprised if that changes, because if there's one thing we know about 50, it's that he never fires shots without a plan. With all of this smoke, many people are wondering why 50 would do this and why he would be the one to get involved in this way. Well, it goes deeper than you might think. Diddy has always been one of 50's biggest rivals. So to deliver a knockout punch in court by presenting receipts would be like the ultimate victory lap. But the tension between 50 Cent and Diddy is really long and has been building for years, catching up hard now with rumors circulating that 50 Cent might testify in Diddy's ongoing legal drama back in 2003. When both Diddy and 50 Cent were the world's biggest hip-hop powerhouses, Diddy actually presented 50 Cent with the award for Best Rap Video for In the Club. The atmosphere was friendly. The dap was exchanged, and the moment felt significant. But that energy did not last, because later that year, at the wedding of music executive Chris Lighty, a man Diddy and 50 were close to, there was an extremely awkward exchange that left 50 feeling very strange. Years later, 50 revealed on The Breakfast Club that Diddy approached him at the wedding. "Yo, let me take you shopping," he remarked at random. 50 was perplexed and a little alarmed, stating that he thought it was either a mind trick, a joke, or something else completely, and it didn't end there. This was also brought up by 50 on Drink Champs in 2020, when he claimed that the entire atmosphere at the wedding was strange, and that he was sitting with Diddy and Steve Stout when Diddy reportedly backed down from his offer to go shopping, and even added, "I'll pay for everything," and 50 wasn't amenable to it, stating that it unnerved him, as if Diddy was attempting to manipulate him or something more profound.
We gotta kick it. This is possible.
Okay.
You're telling me we gotta kick it and shit, and he's like, yo, why don't we go shopping?
Months after the wedding, 50 released a song called Popping Them Things, which featured a slick line referencing Diddy's famous altercation with executive Steve Stout. Although they were spotted together at events in 2004 as if everything was fine, the beef subtly resurfaced a few years later. It's unclear whether It was just awkward flirtation, a misinterpreted joke, or subtle shade. But it's clear that it left 50 with a bad taste in his mouth. Things became petty when 50 attempted to sign Mace, who was once one of Diddy's biggest stars at Bad Boy Records. Later in 2005, 50 included Mace in the Window Shopper music video, which was more than just a reference to Diddy's shopping remark. It was a direct reference to that comment. But now 50 was flipping the script, taking Mace shopping and showing that he had the upper hand. The subtext was powerful, and if you go lyric by lyric through Window Shopper, there are lines that seem completely directed at Diddy, discussing jealousy and fakeness and people being angry. In a 2014 interview with Funk Flex, 50 accused Diddy of doing sucker stuff over the Mace deal. He talked about how Diddy tried to make it seem like everything was cool, but then delayed the release of Mace from his contract by stalling on the money side. The fans think that 50 may have been hinting at some of the things Diddy is now accused of when they see him drive by. However, it's becoming increasingly clear that 50 was building a case before there was a case. Tension never completely subsided, but there are more layers to this beat. In August 2006, 50 Cent dropped a bombshell on a remix of Dead Press's beloved song, Hip Hop. In this remix, 50 accuses Diddy of knowing who killed Biggie and being too afraid to take action because he was on the go, claiming G-Unit, not Diddy, not Bad Boy, ran hip hop. 50 wasn't just slick with the bars, though. In the outro, he gave Diddy a verbal thrash, mocking the white party and saying he wasn't getting invited now. It didn't stop there, though, 'cause he didn't want to go in the first place and wasn't attempting to hang out with Diddy's punks. 50 voiced some serious minor complaints, saying Diddy had prevented him from signing Mace, squandered his time and money, and owed him $50,000 for travel expenses. Then the big shit happened. Fast forward to 2024, and this diss tune is going viral once more. People online are making jokes about the FBI playing it repeatedly during the raids that the streets will never forget, but 50 didn't stop with that. 50 stated that someone told him something about Diddy that he could disclose, but he didn't. The ink had dried a week earlier. 50 might have been number one. And let's not forget about that iconic moment at the Screamfest tour at Madison Square Garden, where you can see Jay-Z, Kanye, Diddy, and 50 Cent all on stage together. In August 2007, Forbes released their hip-hop Cash Kings list. And guess what? Diddy leapfrogged 50, finishing at number 2, just behind Jay-Z, and in third place. But when 50 showed up without warning, you could feel the tension. DJ's introduction was really awkward, saying things like, "Hey, you can get down, you can get down." Fans thought 50 had just walked onto the stage and flexed like, "I run N." And now Kanye is performing Can't Tell Me Nothing while 50 and Diddy are running around the stage like two uncles at a barbecue doing too much. On stage, 50 actually begins counting money while avoiding Diddy, who approaches him as if attempting to perpetrate a prank, and then Diddy spanks Jay-Z in front of everyone. Crowd, as it was even during the buddy-buddy moments. There's always this undercurrent of power games and pettiness, and at the end, Diddy throws his arm around both Yaya and 50, but 50 low-key shrugs him off. 50 Cent and court dropping. Speaking of names, I've already heard a number of them during the first 2 days of Diddy's trial. First up is Cassie Diddy's ex-girlfriend, who is testifying under her real name and isn't using any aliases or false identities. She is the one who essentially started everything with the lawsuit she filed back in 2023, which is what opened the floodgates and directed federal attention to Diddy. In addition to Cassie, there are 3 other people who are accusing Diddy of some serious things. They are being referred to as Victim 2, Victim 3, and Victim. There is a long list of people who aren't necessarily victims but are still expected to appear in court or have their names mentioned, including some of Diddy's former romantic partners, a business associate, a male sex worker, and even one of Cassie's close friends. these testify due to personal issues, was actually taking place behind the scenes, and now is where things become extremely spicy. The names of the celebrities were combined into a jury list that contained roughly 190 names. Michael B. Jordan and Kanye West indeed. Mike Myers and Kid Cudi, their names being on that list does not guarantee that they will appear in court. Rather, it indicates that there is a possibility that they may be mentioned or questioned during the trial. Essentially, the jury needs to be aware of any potential connections, and Jennifer Lopez is obviously one of them. Justin Bieber and Cassie are also being discussed in the media. They haven't been verified as witnesses, but there has been a lot of talk that they're attempting to avoid the situation as much as possible. They may not be directly involved, but their names being brought up in the same conversation has people wondering how they're all connected to the mess Diddy is in. Let's start with Cassie, who is at the center of this storm. Her lawsuit accuses Diddy of assault and trafficking-related behavior. She also outlined a pattern of drug control, manipulation, and huge freak-off parties, essentially portraying Diddy as a power-hungry individual who uses his wealth and prestige to take advantage of people, particularly women. Because of her lawsuit, the federal government began looking into Diddy's actions for years, not only with her, but also with other people. Now, let's look at victims 2 through 4. Although their names are unknown, it is being stated that their accounts are similar to Cassie's and that these weren't isolated events. Rather, they imply that a system was in place and Diddy had a whole setup to put people in these toxic, abusive, and occasionally violent situations. One of them was connected to the lifestyle Cassie described, being forced into parties that were being watched and recorded. As a result, their testimony could help prove that was a pattern rather than just Cassie exaggerating. The former lovers, the male sex worker, the business associate, and Cassie's friend are all potential pieces of the puzzle. Some may have helped set them up. Others may have witnessed things. It may or may not support Cassie's and the other victims' claims that the male prostitute may have attended some of the events or circumstances where Diddy's actions went too far. Now let's talk about the celebrities. There has long been speculation that Kanye attends some of Diddy's private gatherings, particularly those industry-type parties that are invite-only and truly exclusive. There are no public accusations against him, but his inclusion on the jury list raises questions. Kanye's name was dropped in a way that caused people to pause. It's possible that his name will be included when witnesses begin to describe who was present on some of these crazy nights. We don't know if Michael B. Jordan and Kid Cudi will actually appear, but their inclusion on the list indicates that someone thinks they may have heard or seen something in the past. Since Cody has been vocal about not getting along with some Hollywood circles, people are wondering if he might be brought in to share his viewpoint or even to distance himself. The first person to throw people off was Mike Myers, who's been in the business for decades and has had crossover moments with actors, directors, and creatives from all over the industry. On a project or attended a few events where something went wrong, but that doesn't mean he's involved. The court wants the jury prepared in case his name comes up. Next are Jennifer Lopez and Justin Bieber, who obviously has a history with Diddy from their past dating days. Even though JLo hasn't been charged with anything, people are wondering if she witnessed anything suspicious during that relationship. She has been very silent about it all, and media insiders claim she is attempting to distance herself to safeguard her reputation. The mention of Justin Bieber's name sparked a lot of conjecture because he was known to hang around with Diddy when he was younger, and many have always wondered about their relationship even if there are no formal allegations that appear explicitly connecting him to the charges. But his name surfacing demonstrates the depth of Diddy's connections, particularly with young musicians' financial success. Diddy's world was more than just glitter and glamour. Many around him, including actors and musicians, may have been exposed to or caught a glimpse of what was happening behind closed doors. Some of them may have been persuaded to join the case, while others may have been drawn in due to their close proximity. Another suitable jury for this case discomfort in Diddy's case. The jury selection and trial setup are already revealing a lot of scandal strategy and serious repercussions. The courtroom is set to be the main stage for a wild showdown. So first things first, it's taking place in Manhattan Federal Court. The objective is to select 12 jurors and 6 alternates from a group of 45 people. And this isn't just any old crowd we're talking about people from all different backgrounds, including teachers, scientists, actors, and media professionals. Given the type of evidence and names being thrown around, the jury's opinion could make or break this trial. Therefore, both the prosecution and Diddy's defense team have the opportunity to remove a few jurors they don't want. The prosecution can strike 6, while Diddy's side receives 10 and both receive 3 more. When it comes to the alternates, it means that both sides are being extremely strategic about who they want sitting in that box. Juicy jurors are also being asked if they know any of the 190 celebrities that might be named throughout the trial. This means that everyone from Cassie to Justin Bieber to Kanye could be cited. And they need to ensure that the jury is free of any personal ties or viewpoints that can influence their verdict. They're also being questioned about the amount of media attention they've received because, let's face it, this case has been well publicized online, and it would be impossible to be unaware of the trial itself. Diddy has 5 significant allegations, but he has already entered a not guilty plea and rejected a plea bargain, indicating that he is placing his bet on a court victory rather than a settlement reached behind closed doors. The feds are gathering all the evidence they can, including alleged hotel surveillance footage, details about those freak-offs, and even items that were seized when Diddy's properties were seized. Opening statements are scheduled for May 12th, and they anticipate that this trial will take several weeks. Since this is a high-profile case with major celebrities in the game, they are being extra careful with the jury. They need people who won't be blinded by fame or influenced by social media drama. Given the amount of attention this case is receiving, finding a truly impartial jury may be one of the hardest parts. So yes, this is shaping up. Rated is making every effort to paint a picture of a long-running setup rather than a one-time mistake. Additionally, if 50 Cent joins the party, who knows what else might be added to the mix. This is one of the most talked about trials in hip-hop and celebrity history, with a stacked witness list, a courtroom strategy, and serious charges. All in the midst of a media circus. How do you think this one will end? Do you think 50 Cent will get involved in the Diddy trial? Tell us everything you know.